What if we have a relative or a close friend who is disfellowshipped? Now our loyalty is on the line, not to that person, but to God. Jehovah is watching us to see whether we will abide by his command not to have contact with anyone who is disfellowshipped.
Jehovah's Witnesses, if God is allowing Satan to rule mankind to prove that Jehovah God is the ultimate ruler of the universe, then how is this being proven if the Watchtower Society is pushing its tenets on its members under the fear of disfellowshipping and shunning? Isn't that blackmail? That person is not choosing for themselves. They're being forced to make that decision. They're being forced to choose Jehovah. Isn't that correct? Also, in what scripture does God command not to have contact with anyone who is disfellowshipped? Can we even find the word disfellowshipped in the Bible, let alone this supposed command?
Consider just one example of the good that can come when a family loyally upholds Jehovah's decree not to associate with disfellowshipped relatives. A young man had been disfellowshipped for over 10 years, during which time his father, mother, and 4 brothers quit mixing in company with him. At times, he tried to involve himself in their activities, but to their credit, each member of the family was steadfast in not having any contact with him. After he was reinstated, he said that he always missed the association with his family, especially at night when he was alone. But he admitted, had the family associated with him even a little, that small dose would have satisfied him. However, because he did not receive even the slightest communication from any of his family, the burning desire to be with them became one motivating factor in his restoring his relationship with Jehovah. Think of that if you were ever tempted to violate God's command not to associate with your disfellowshipped relative.
Once again, what motivated this young man to come back to the Watchtower? Was it his love for Jehovah, or was it because his family hadn't communicated with him in 10 years? Does Jehovah really want a kingdom hall full of people who are forced to be his followers because if not, their relatives will not communicate with them? Or was this young man a victim of blackmail? From the Bible, is this not to have contact with your disfellowshipped relatives what Jesus and the early Christians preached? Matthew 5:43-45, continue to love your enemies and to pray for those persecuting you. Luke 6:27-37, continue becoming merciful, stop judging, stop condemning. Matthew 18:15-17, let him be to you just as a man of the nations and as a tax collector. Jesus spoke and ate with tax collectors. Throughout the Bible, Paul and Jesus find mercy and are warned not to judge. At worst, they have cautionary forms of association, but nowhere the command from God not to associate with family. If anyone is fulfilling Scripture, it would be Watchtower in 2 Timothy 3, having no natural affection. But what does Watchtower have to say about this previously? Remember, they contradict themselves. In the 2009 Awake, July, it says, no one should be forced to worship in a way that he finds unacceptable or be made to choose between his beliefs and his family.